Listen. I can explain my small break. No, I can't. I'm sorry. I literally said like 2 videos ago that I was gonna be consistent and that I wasn't gonna like disappear again. But here we are, 3 weeks later. I apologize. I had art block again. It seems that this summer is really not my summer. Even with art fight going on, I just got burnt out. And like seeing all of this stuff on YouTube about art fight and like TikTok is ruining art fight and blah 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 blah, I was just like, I don't know. I just kind of demotivated me from participating. So I didn't do any more attacks, but I think I did get a couple more. So if you were somebody that attacked me, thank you so much. I loved each and every single one of them. They were so beautiful, and I will cherish them all forever. I hope everybody who participated had fun. I don't even know who won. I'm pretty sure it's team, what is it, Stardust. So congrats to them. They were leading from like day one, which was insane to me. But fingers crossed for next year, guys. Whatever team I pick, hopefully I win next year. We'll see. Anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about the piece today. I kind of wanted to go over my process a bit more because I feel like I'm a bit lacking when it comes to explaining what I'm doing. So first, let me tell you who this is. If you're new here, I do mostly FNAF fan art. I mean, FNAF? What? I meant I mostly do Overwatch fan art. I don't know what that was. Anyways, and I have a bunch of videos here on my channel of different fan art pieces that I've done if you want to check some of those out. And next season 12, I think, yeah, 12, a new hero will be released, Juno, also known as Space Ranger. And I think a couple weeks ago at this point now, she was released for playtesting, where she was available for 3 days to play in the non-competitive quick play mode. I did get to play her. I love her. She is so fun, and I think her kit is very unique and will be very game-changing, like comp-wise. So yeah, I wanted to draw her, and here we are. I saw this 3D model on Pinterest, and it really spoke to me. I liked how like flowy it was and how fluid it was. So I thought this would be the perfect pose for Juno, and I'm really glad I went with this pose. I feel like I never really do anything this, what's the word? I feel like I never really do anything this fluid and like so dynamic. So this was really good practice because I have never done a pose like this ever before. It was a lot of fun. It was challenging trying to figure out like the different elements of her suit and such because there is so much detail. Oh, by the way, I am going off of the concept art more than I am her actual design that is in game. I'll show pictures up on the screen so you can see what I mean. In her in-game design, she does not have all of this detail on her suit and such, which I still like her in-game design, but the concept art was just so, it was so beautiful, and I really wanted to make it my own and draw it, so that's what I decided to go with. And it was challenging. I think overall this piece took me close to 8 hours, which if you watch my Junker Queen video, that one took me about 6 hours, and that was a half body and a portrait. So this one took me quite a while. This was the first time that I've drawn in a couple weeks though, So I was very rusty and still trying to kind of brush off the dust, the cobwebs, and kind of get back into the grind, I guess. So here I am adding the flats in right now. If you've never seen my process before, what I like to do is I like to work in 3 main layers, but this piece ended up having a lot more. I will show you a screenshot close to the end of all the layers and such. But I work in 3 main layers. I have the sketch layer, which I leave as sketchy as I can possibly leave it. I do clean it up just a tad bit if things are confusing me, but for the most part, I just leave it as it is when I sketch it out. My second layer, which goes underneath my sketch layer, is my flats, which are flat colors, which is just me putting down the basic colors. So when it comes to rendering, it'll be a lot easier. And then the layer that goes on top of the flats and the sketch layer is the rendering layer, which is what I am working on right now, which this draws on top of everything, even the line art. So I do have to be a bit careful with how I do this. Sometimes it is a bit hard to know what I'm doing when I'm painting over the sketch layer, but I feel like it really is a visionary thing. I try to trust myself when I'm looking at my references and then I'm looking back at my piece. I try and just wing it, I guess. I'm sorry if that's not really like a good explanation of it, but that's really the best way I can explain it. Now you can see that I added like a little planet in the background. That goes away because I decided to go in a completely different direction with the background. Later on, you'll see it. I think the background that I end up going with is just 10 times better than this. This is just really boring right now, but it was temporary and it kind of gave me a vibe for how I wanted the piece to feel. So I'm still working on the rendering layer right now. I'm really getting into the details now with adding shading to like the white part of her suit because I felt it was still feeling very, very flat. I'll probably come back when I start adding in like the actual shading and stuff. So you can just watch this and I'll be back. Now I start to play with some different lighting, which I did not really end up going with. I did end up keeping this layer, but it is very subtle. And now I'm going in with the shadow layer, which is just a multiply layer, and I use a kind of purpley gray color to add the shadows. And at first here you can see it's very harsh, but I do end up going and blending it and making it look a lot better. Oh my god, adding the dark background was so satisfying. I like how it looks just with the dark background too. Like, it's so, I really like how she looks like she's really in space. I think I did a really good job on that. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I really enjoyed that. You can see that I added like some highlights, like a beam that's shining over her face, because I wanted some light coming from the top right. So I just erased the shadows on her face. I didn't actually add any lighting there. Then I did the background. I don't really know what planet this is supposed to be, up for your interpretation. And then I found this really cool flare brush on Procreate, and I thought it was perfect for adding like stars and like this light in the back. And then I go and add kind of a rim light around her silhouette, mostly on the left side, I think, more so than the right side, which I think came out okay. My boyfriend said that I should have added like different colored rim lights, like pink and purple and blue, which I think would have been cool. I did kind of try something like that, but I feel like it did not turn out how I wanted it to. And here I'm working on the helmet. I really wanted it to be shiny so you could see that it's a helmet and not just like, I don't know, a bubble on her head or just like a circle. I wanted it to look like a helmet and have that reflection. Thought that was really important, so I tried to nail that. And right here I'm adding the rim light, which I think really makes her pop. Like, I love this. It was so fun to do. And now I'm adding some stars of different colors because I got a suggestion to do that. And here is the final piece. Here's a close-up. I still think my Junker Queen drawing is my favorite, but I think this comes in a close second. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, you know, click all the buttons. It would help me out a lot. This full piece will be posted on my Instagram if you want to see it, at Echo Isn't Okay, and I will see you next time. Bye.